know opposite direction caps, these guys, right? Face your left side, your right hand's overhand. And then what we're gonna do is, just ignore your left hand for this one. You're gonna go from the cap, on the extension itself, come down, lift your leg, go under the leg, and then come out on this side. So that it will look like this when you put the two of them together. So you're in the cap, you're in the cap, you're in the cap. Now I'm gonna go under the right leg and then swivel and come around to the right side. So the outside hand, which is overhand, comes under the leg. And then what the other hand does is it's underhand like this. So as the right poi comes under the leg, what you do with the left one is you come up and over in an extension and then come down on the other side. So the left is like this, your underhand cap, cap, cap. Now we're gonna pretend the right one's going under the leg, come up, over, and then your overhand, cap, cap. Yeah, okay, yeah. So your underhand here, 1, 2, 3. Now we're gonna extend and turn to the right. And then from this side, so remember to keep yourself in your T stance when you swivel to this side. And then on this side, your left hand, as it's coming down from overhand, you're gonna come under your left leg on the extension as you swivel to this side. So your underhand here, 2, 3, extension, come up over the top, and then overhand here, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go under the leg, swivel, come out, underhand on the left, 1 and 2 and 3, and now up over the top to the right, and 1 and 2 and 3, and under the leg and swivel to the left, and up, 1 and 2 and 3, and up and over the top, and 1 and 2 and 3, and down and under the leg, and 1 and 2 and 3, up and over as you swivel to the right, and then overhand, 1 and 2 and 3, and then come down under the leg. The right hand is, we're gonna go 1 and 2 and 3. Now come down and under the leg, swivel, come out, underhand on the right, and up, 2, 3, and then up and over and overhand, 1 and 2 and 3, and down under the leg, swivel, come out, underhand on the right, 1 and 2 and 3, and up and over and go to the left, and 1, 2, 3. Now come under the leg, swivel, and come out, underhand on the right, 1 and 2 and 3, up and over and overhand, 1 and 2 and 3, come down under the leg and up, 1 and 2 and 3, up and over. And the last set, 1 and 2 and 3, come down under the leg, swivel, come out, underhand, 1 and 2 and 3, and up and over to the other side. You can just try the pieces, right? So if you're here doing your opposite direction cap, so right hand's overhand, left hand's underhand, your weight is going to predominantly be on the left leg because you're going to come down under the right leg. So if we did, right, this is the in-spin portion of it, this is the anti-spin, this is the in-spin, this is the anti-spin. So if we start from here where the right is up and the left is down, and we just do the in-spin portion of it, that's where you go under the leg. As the right one is coming down, you're going to lift your left poi, come up over the top as the right one comes under the leg like so, and then you'll come out on the other side. Okay, so let's just do that one part again. We're here in the in-spin portion. So we'll go 5, we'll wait on your left leg, right hand is up, left hand is down, 5, 6, 7, and right under the leg, left swings around. And now even if you just come out here and you don't even go into the cap, let's do the one on this side that is the portion under the leg. So your right hand should be underhand, the left hand should be overhand. And then the left hand's up top and the right one's down bottom. And then we'll do the same thing, only this time your weight's gonna be on the right leg. You're gonna lift the left leg because your left poi is coming under the left leg. So it'll be 5, 6, 7, and swing, come under the leg, and then you'll come out on this side like this. And then we'll go into the cap. The right hand will be up, the left hand will be down, and then 5, 6, 7, and under the leg while you swing around, and then you're in the cap on this side. And then when the left one's on top and the right one's down bottom, 5, 6, 7, and under the left leg, swivel. And then when you get more comfortable, you can add the cap in the middle, and then as you're ready, when you feel it, the right one goes under the right leg from the left side, and the left one goes under the left leg from the right side. right one under the right leg from the left side, left one under the left leg from the right side. One thing to remember with this one is there's two versions of this cap swivel, right? So what we just did was this version of the cap swivel. And in this version, if you were to break it down, you're basically doing overhand opposite on the front. That is the one we're doing, and with that version, it's the far hand, the crossing hand that goes under the leg. The crossing hand that goes under the leg. That's what we just did. Versus this version. So with this version, it would be the home hand, not the crossing hand that goes under the leg. Well, I'm not sure which one's easier, but it is a different movement. But you could do it both ways. And so the question is, do you have both versions of the cap swivel first? Right, because you need, if you don't do both versions of the cap swivel, then you'll want to learn both versions. So so I didn't show the second version of the cap swivel. With that version, the outer hand, the crossing hand is underhand. The not crossing hand is overhand. And then it's this. I mean, I don't know how clearly this looks different to your average audience member. I would think you would need somebody who's fairly competent in some flow arts to have some distinction about the difference between those two. But I think it does make a physiological difference when you're doing it. When you're doing the one with the home hand, so the not crossing hand in overhand, I think that makes for, you can move backwards with it better. So like if I'm doing this one, for example, I can step back, step back, step back, step back, step back. To me, it feels more accessible in a certain sense because it's the closer hand and you don't have to cross the body. And so there's less chance of the two of the poi hitting and colliding in midair. But you got it both ways. You got the harder one, so the easier one should be easier, I think. You don't even necessarily have to connect them together in the swivel, but those are the halves of it, right? Like a weave fountain, right? This to me is a swivel. You're going from one side to the other. You're swiveling. And so if you look at it, I think of it from the perspective of what your hips are doing and what your feet are doing. I'm swiveling back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, it's a side-to-side C-cap on the front plane. We did the version together that was the overhand opposite version. And with the overhand opposite version, the outside hand or crossing hand or the further away hand, however you want to look at it, is the one that goes under its own leg. So in all instances, we were doing whichever version, the poi goes under its own leg, the right poi under the right leg, left poi under the left leg. And for the version that we did, it's when the poi is in the overhand pattern, that's when it goes under the leg, then it'll come out underhand. And then when it's in the underhand, it'll go in the big extension over the top. Right, so when it's overhand, it goes under the leg. When it's underhand, it goes over the top. When it's overhand, it goes under the leg. When it's underhand, it goes over the top. And then the other big thing to remember is the action of either going under the leg or over the top happens on the inspin.